So I got started in competitive shooting from a young age. My whole family grew up and we were all shooters and hunters for the most part. I found out in middle school that competitive shooting was an actual sport. So I started in a program called SETP. From there I just pursued it, shot nationally, and eventually went to a game called Sporting Clays with the NSCA. So kept pursuing that individually, made some national and international teams and actually shot Sporting Clays for NSCA Team USA. So I grew up hunting, and that led to competitive shooting was how I got started. What I enjoy about shooting is that it's the only sport to where you can have multiple generations and people from all different backgrounds, especially age, all doing the same sport and enjoying it. Like, if you play baseball or football, you're not seeing your grandfather out there. You're not seeing some senior competitors versus some junior competitors. So there's people from all different ages and walks of life that are in shooting sports. I've always wanted to compete in the Olympics for shooting. I never shot a discipline up until I joined the Army to go to the Olympics. So I would say it really set in when I decided to join the Army. In 2016, when I joined for the Marksmanship Unit, is when I really understood I had an opportunity to go to the Olympics, because I switched to shoot an Olympic discipline. So I've always kind of had a goal in the back of my mind, but that's where it really set in. I think why I'm drawn to the Olympics is it's one of the biggest stages that you can compete on. I chose a long time ago that I want to shoot and be competitive. And the Olympics is the grandest platform where I can compete against the best and basically demonstrate what I've been training for and winning against the entire world. It's the best of the best, and I think that it's a goal that I've always wanted to fulfill. I'm very happy to make an Olympic team. This is my first team. It's kind of a surreal experience. It really hasn't set in because I'm still shooting and training for it. But if anything, I'm more motivated. Now I get a chance to actually go over there and shoot for a medal. So it's still setting in every day, up until I go there and it's over. I would say being a soldier helps me with being a competitive shooter, because you're used to delayed gratification, right? There's always a grand scheme or a mission. There's always an outcome you're reaching for. And no matter how long that takes, it's instilled in us and a lot of competitors that you're never supposed to quit. So I would say being a soldier has made me that much more resilient in being a shooter and chasing a win. I joined the Army for an opportunity to kind of demonstrate my skill set and become a part of something greater. I didn't know anything about the Army, especially the Army Marksmanship Unit, but I did know that they had the resources I needed, and looking back on it now, I had no idea how much they had to offer me as far as the stuff that they've taught me, the responsibility, the character development. It's one of my better decisions I've made in life. Qualifying for the Olympics and knowing that I have other, I would say co-workers in this case, do it with me, it tells me that, one, the AMU is the place to be. We're doing something right, but it makes it that much even better, right? I'm not standing alone up there. I have other people that I get to celebrate what an awesome experience it is, and hopefully we go there and win. I would tell an aspiring young marksman that the biggest thing you can do is just continue to shoot and never quit, regardless of whatever discipline you choose. But don't get upset, don't get frustrated, and always just remember there's a big picture. You don't know when it's going to happen, you're only on your timeline, so continue shooting and always shoot to win. I'm staying focused as much as I can, right? I'm ready to experience Paris and the Olympic Village and everything it has to offer and see the amazing athletes. But what I would say personally I'm preparing for is I want to secure a medal. Gold ideally, but I'm prepared to go there and shoot my discipline and emerge on top. So I'm excited for the whole experience, but I anticipate being on a podium. So during this Olympic quad, I've been a pretty consistent trap shooter. I've rose because we have a whole office full of good shooters, and the U.S. has a lot of really good shooters. I battled and clawed my way in there for the 1 and 2 spot, most of this entire quad to make these teams. I did win one of our quotas. That's kind of a personal satisfaction. So I won one of our quotas, and then I had to go shoot for it again at Olympic trials and win it again. So that made me happy that I did that. But other than that, no, I was just clawing in there to try to win every time. Coping with the stress of constant competition, it's definitely a switch. For me, it's, I think of it as being in like a car, and I'm going to use my hands like redlining. If you just step in a car and push the accelerator and you're like redlining. So when I'm shooting competitions, that's where I'm at mentally. And then I consciously have to make an effort when I'm not competing. I have to go to a 0 out of 10. That's my downtime. I may not be shooting that great. I may not be, 100% keen, but I know that when I get ready to ramp things up, I just mentally have to go to a different spot. Definitely my family are my biggest supporters. From start to day one up until now, they have always been behind me, whatever I want to do. They never, pushed me or told me to do anything I didn't want to do, but they have always been 110% behind me. So I've been blessed with a very supportive family. And obviously the Marksmanship Unit and my coworkers. I would say if anything, it's probably proud is the word that comes up. I'm very excited for myself and everything I've worked for, but to get to go there and have, the entire United States behind you and know that you represent the entire U.S. Army on that platform, it's a big thing. If anything, like I said, it's empowering and it's exciting. I would have a lot of good things to say. I did not come from an Army family or know anything about it. Knowing now, I've been in for about 8 years. If I had to go back in time, I have so much more to tell young people what the Army has to offer. At least for, trying it once. The opportunities, one, to travel and see the world, the skills you learn, but also how it molds you as a person. You get to deal with all different people from different walks of backgrounds, and you learn a lot, and it teaches you to become a better person.